Report. So just what exactly does North Korea's government hope to gain by granting these interviews, and how should the Obama administration react? Joining me now is Philip Yoon. He's the former senior advisor to Secretary of State William Perry and executive director of Plowshares in San Francisco. Now, Philip, you have actually been to North Korea 4 times, which is a lot for anybody outside, particularly for a U.S. citizen. Knowing the North Koreans as you do, what do you think their message was? What do you think they were trying to do through these interviews?
This is a cynical ploy in many respects, tugging on heartstrings. It's a deplorable situation. Obviously, these individuals are in great distress. So this is a way for the North Koreans, as they've done, to ratchet up the pressure. There's also another very calculated thing that they're doing here. The timing of the interview being Labor Day, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And this is a way, in a dramatic fashion, through interviews in this way, to cut through what the North Koreans seem is the news clutter, all that's going on with ISIS, what's going on in Ukraine. And this is a way to, hopefully, for them to put pressure to let the U.S. government know that North Korea still has these people and that they want the U.S. to do something about it.
Now, as somebody who was inside the administration trying to game out and figure out the North Koreans, which is not easy to do, put yourself in the State Department right now, analyzing these interviews. What information do you think can be gained by reviewing these tapes?
Well, as you said, no one really knows what's going on in terms of what the North Korean leadership is thinking, but there could be, 3, 4 possibilities. One is that this is just, again, a cynical ploy for them to get some kind of benefit. That's a possibility. I think a lot of people would probably very easily say that. That's an easy way to talk about it. Another possibility is they actually want a high-level envoy to come. You recall President Clinton did that a couple of years ago. That was with Kim Jong-il, the father. So there's a prestige factor involved if a high-level envoy of some kind can meet Kim Jong-un. The third possibility is that this, in a way, is an opening to send a message to the United States. There's pressure, my understanding, from the Chinese on the North Koreans to start moving, to try to get to be less unreasonable. And this is an opportunity to send a message and to get some kind of negotiation and talk and discussion between the United States. And finally, some people can say, knowing that the Obama administration probably will not respond to this, or it's very difficult for them in this circumstance, they're going to say no. So this could be an excuse for North Korea continuing their belligerent behavior, which I think ultimately may end up in another nuclear test at some point in the future.
And you say that the Obama administration will likely say no. To a layman looking at this, they see these U.S. prisoners in North Korea, and you say, which is probably the case, that the North Koreans, especially the newer leader, Kim Jong-un, wants a high-level U.S. official to come there. It seems kind of simple, right? I mean, why not just send somebody if you can get these Americans back? But it isn't that simple when you're talking about this very delicate diplomatic dance with North Korea, is it?
Exactly. I mean, one, if you're talking about someone at President Clinton's level, that's one thing. But the other question is, when does it stop? I mean, this is something that the North Koreans have steadily been using. We have more Americans that are going into North Korea. These kinds of things are going to be constantly repeated. And so the question is, are we going to continually be in this situation where we're going to have to send someone to somehow get them out? There's another factor involved, is that we did, my understanding, for a high-level envoy. Ambassador Bob King, I think, was scheduled to go. He's the individual in charge of human rights, the special envoy, and he was all set to go with respect to Kenneth Bae, and the North Koreans suddenly turned it down. So it's really unclear what the North Koreans are looking for. And, we're in a situation where we're giving them a rock, and the North Koreans are saying yes or no, and that, from our standpoint, a policy standpoint, is not the place to be in.
Fascinating insight and about a very opaque society. Philip Yoon, thank you so much for your time. And coming up, look at this. This is